Alright, the next video that we have is the most useless superpowers IRL.
Y'all know what this is by now. We're back to talk about some more useless powers.
Yo, this sounds like Cloud, bro. The previous video before Moist Criticals, that nigga sounded like Tommy. This nigga sounds like Cloud.
Because there are still far too many that need to be covered.
You're always welcome
enough
to Texas.
chit-chat. Let's
Thank you,
get
man.
into some of these abilities. For our first order of business, I wanted to spin back on some of the things I said in the second installment of the series. Being wrong is a part of life, and it can be good to admit when you were wrong on something. And I definitely gotta correct and revise one of the takes I made in that video about Gojo's abilities. In that video, I said that besides Infinity, which is essentially the barrier around Gojo, all of their abilities from the Limitless Curse technique were practically useless for IRL scenarios. As we see in JJK, a lot of Gojo's techniques are typically used in a combat sense. However, that doesn't mean that the very nature of some of these techniques are completely doo-doo water for ordinary situations. When I saw Gojo destroy everything in the surrounding area with the max output blue, I thought he could only use blue at max output to destroy things. However, you can use lower outputs of blue and use it as a pseudo telekinesis by manipulating the attraction field. So blue in itself is pretty decent at lower outputs, and you probably never need it at max output unless you're interested in creating a pool so strong that everything in the vicinity is concentrated to a single point, essentially acting as a gravitational wrecking ball. Also, a lot of y'all were telling me that he uses blue to teleport, which I genuinely did not know. I kind of just ignored that part of his abilities and thought he just teleported through other means of space manipulation. But hey man, y'all already know how I feel about teleportation. It's always useful as long as we ignore the scientific implications. But y'all Gojo fans
I was not an avid fucking Dragon Ball watcher, nor do I know anything about it. But well, I know a little bit about Dragon Ball Z. I know a lot of the characters off of their, like, you know, I could name a lot of their characters, but that's just because I have a big brother, and my big brother, my big brother watched it very heavily, so I know, like, the basics and, like, the characters. But when I used to like, sit around with him sometimes when he would watch it, and, I had a really big crush on Piccolo. I loved me some Piccolo. Cell, I could take Cell in a fight. Okay, I could take Cell. But, I used to have a lot of crushes on, like, the characters in Dragon Ball Z. You wanna
I'm
get
still
eaten?
gonna have to hear me say that purple and unlimited void are still straight garbage in real life, unless you expect to be in the army. Red is, for lack of a better word, mid. I really am not sure when you'll need the repulsion of red, because I haven't seen many other applications in the series besides pure offense. You can't even say that you needed to push an object, because you could just use blue for that. Anyways, on to the new powers. The first one up to bat is Titan shifting from Attack on Titan. Shifters can transform into giant humanoids.
Okay, if you could pick a Titan from Attack on Titan, which one would you pick? Or, yeah, if you could be one of the Titans or transform into one of the Titans, which one would you do? See, me personally, I will probably, I don't know who I would choose for fucking, you know, I'm not gonna lie, low-key, I would probably go with, I don't know. Give me some time to think on that.
So naturally, they'd be pretty strong. Titan shifters were pretty consistently portrayed to be formidable opponents throughout the series, and they're the strongest characters if we don't include the Ackerman. There's quite a few different Titan shifters in the series. There's the Beast Titan, who typically has some type of animal characteristics. Zeke's Titan looked like a monkey and was able to throw rocks and practically anything else like him.
Ooh, I'd be the Warhammer Titan. I think that's, let me see. The Warhammer Titan, I'm not gonna lie, was tough as fuck. And I feel like, you know, the Warhammer Titan had a lot more potential, but, you know, their fucking user, I'm gonna just say fucking user, is ass, and wasn't really, you know, they could have teed up a little bit more. But I'd be the fucking Warhammer Titan.
Kinda obvious. We got the Warhammer Titan, who can make constructs out of hardened Titan skin. The Jaw Titan has incredible jaw and claw strength. The female Titan is extremely versatile. The Colossal Titan is massive. The Cart Titan has great mobility despite looking like a crocodile and a human fusion in all the wrong ways. Then for some reason, the Attack Titan can look through the memories of future holders of the Attack Titan. I don't know how useful that specific ability would be in real life due to the logistics of actually passing on the Titan, but that's a problem for later. You also got a pretty decent
if I was a Colossal Titan, I could just use that. I could use my power for good to, like, help build, like, buildings and shit. Like, I could use it for, like, construction and, you know, fighting off, like, bad guys and shit. Like, if we were to ever go to war, then I would just use the Warhammer Titan ability, and, like, I would fucking save would save us.
Factor when you're in
No,
human form, and that's all of the positives I really got for this power. Because it's very clear that if you had this ability in real life, you'd quickly realize how worthless it is. First off, there will be zero sense of privacy when turning into a Titan. So no little secrets.
Hi, Audio. Hey, man. How are you, dude?
Anything, everyone
Good night,
will know
Ryan.
you will be a human about the size of a building, so it's kind of hard to miss. And that's not to mention the fact that there's a giant explosion and lightning anytime you transform. If you see a lightning explosion in the middle of a sunny day, you're gonna know something odd is happening.
I think also, that would be pretty
something that
cool.
needs to be noted is that even though the Titans are strong, they're not really like that for real.
The Warhammer Titan looks tough as fuck. That's why I picked it. And then Warhammer Titan looks tough, and I feel like with the right person, you could use it. You could use it for good. I'm doing alright. How are you? I am doing.
The series has already demonstrated that there was anti-Titan technology that was very effective against the armored Titan. Our modern society is way more advanced than it is in Attack on Titan. If the country wanted to, they could neutralize you without breaking too much of a sweat. If you decide to start destroying stuff, you may cause some
damage. The Colossal Titan. If you're the Colossal Titan in today's world, oh wait, never mind.
But you're not going super crazy. Some of the Titan shifters are also just underwhelming in general. Like the armor Titan is cool.
Is it weird that I kind of have a crush on Aaron's in Titan form? Like Aaron's Titan is kind of, he's kind of,
will probably be on the more useful side of the 9 Titans.
Ellie?
But something like the Colossal Titan is kind of you just sitting there with a lot of hot steam. The Colossal Titan is really only good for the explosion as long as you're okay being a living nuclear warhead. It's not even like you're that big with the Colossal Titan, as you're still significantly shorter than a skyscraper. Something else to keep in mind is that for a Titan to be really effective,
I don't think it's that weird. I'm not saying I would do anything. I'm just saying look-wise, like just looking at Aaron's Titan, it's like, oh, okay.
Type of combat training might be in order. As we've seen by now, the ability isn't even that great on its own. But there's one thing I haven't even mentioned yet when becoming a Titan shifter, and it's the biggest drawback of the ability. Once you become a Titan shifter, you only have 13 years left on your life due to the curse of your mirror. So you cut down your lifespan significantly when you obtain one of the 9 Titans. If you want to pass it on, you gotta have another pure Titan eat you. But I don't know how that'll even work without other Titans existing in our world. So you'll just die in your 20s or 30s, which makes the ability even more worthless than it already is. If anything, it's more of a negative. In terms of real life uses, this power could probably help someone with construction or something, but we already have machines for that, so you'd probably not be too helpful. You'd also risk blowing up the construction site if you transform near it, and your body temperature would probably be too hot to work with. Having a power like this is similar to the Susanoo problem, where it's difficult to maneuver in any densely populated area. I'm not even going to talk about the Founding Titan because of the royal blood requirements. You are basically...
The Founding Titan is fucking crazy, bro. Fucking insane.
Asking for a death sentence if you want to become a Titan shifter. Bruh, I don't even know if a lot of the shifters in this series really liked being one that much. Long story short, it would not translate very well to real life. Next up is Maharaja's adaptation. And I know what the title says, but I can't say that this ability is completely useless. Throughout the series, I like to talk about abilities that are absolute trash for real life, but also powers that get their usefulness overstated. I'd say that Maharaja's ability falls under this category, as it depends on how reckless the user of the ability is with it. I think people are gonna believe with an adaptation that there's some invincible tank when that's simply not the case. As we all know, Maharaja can adapt to anything, even physical stats. If you're thinking that's a lie, you might not have caught up with the manga. Basically, if Maharaja gets hit with an attack, it starts a process to adapt.
The most useless superpowers IRL.
There's a set time limit to this, but if you hit him with the same attack again, the process speeds up. Full adaptation means that Maharaja will be immune to the attack moving forward. And this works for...
I don't have an issue with MHA, I just have an issue with their fan base, bro. Their fan base is insane. Like the niggas who be stepping behind my hero, like they stand 10 toes behind my hero, be the weirdest people in the whole fucking world. I stay far away from niggas who worship fucking My Hero Academia. No, could not be me. Never. No thanks. Hi, JCW.
For anything, so you'd be able to adapt to diseases or any real health issues, which is very useful to have. But there's a caveat that people always underplay for some reason, and it's the fact that Maharaja needs time to adapt. That's why the main way to beat him is to hit him with an attack hard enough to one-shot him. Although the anime extended it,
yeah, it's not bad. I started watching My Hero and I actually fuck with it. I think it's it's cool, but the fan base behind it is weird as fuck. Weird as fuck. Okay.
The fight against Sukuna in the manga was only a chapter and a half long because Sukuna realized he just needed to hit him with a strong enough attack before he started adapting. So as long as you're not crazy with what you want to adapt to, you'll have a really good ability. However, I know y'all well enough at this point to know some of you guys are still Arkham Asylum patients who will do the wildest things you can think of with this power. One of y'all are gonna jump in front of a truck on the highway, then realize you can't adapt to anything if you're already dead. No type of healing factor is gonna help you if you just get outright one-shot. And that's another thing that needs to be talked about. It's the healing factor of the adaptation. The adaptation will help you heal the injuries, but it can only do so much. You can get shot once and heal it up fine, but if someone immediately dumps an entire clip into you, it's still gonna leave you hurting if you're not fully adapted yet. This happened during the Maharaja versus Sukuna fight in the manga, where Maharaja was crawling on the ground after the domain expansion. Also, the adaptation...
Dye clear. Dye purple tips. So my hair, from like right here, this is all new growth. This is like hair, virgin hair. Like from here to here is like hair that's just grown out. Now from here, I know y'all can see the difference. Curls are like right here, and then it gets a little bit, my curls right here are damaged because I used to dye my hair a lot and I bleached my hair, but the bottom half of my hair is fucking red. It's like a reddish brownish color and I hate it so bad, but I'm not gonna put more dye on it to neutralize it with my black hair, so I just leave it alone. But it's like, I've had many phases. I used to be a redhead, I used to be a ginger, I used to be a blonde, I used to have pink hair, and I cut my hair a lot too. Dye all of your hair lime green? No.
It doesn't always necessarily mean healing every time. It could be something else, such as helping you react to an attack better.
I used to have a bob. My curly hair used to go to like fucking right here, dude. Short hair does not suit Lana May at all.
I personally feel that if you want to be reckless and have adaptation, it's got to be a rapid adaptation ability like Darwin's from X-Men. His mutant power would likely serve a more convenient day-to-day purpose. Next up, we got Shigaraki's Decay quirk, which I have no idea why anyone would want this power. It's very clear how detrimental his quirk can be when we saw that in his backstory that his quirk accidentally made him murk his entire family. The power is extremely simple and deadly because it just requires you to touch something or someone with your fingers and they disintegrate at dust, Infinity War style. As the quirk gets stronger, the decay can begin to spread to other things touching the decaying object, creating a domino effect. So you can accidentally level an entire city with ease if you are not careful. And that's my main problem with the quirk. All it does is destroy
my dreads photo. Bleach like a motherfucker. Some of my hair is ugly right
I can't really find another creative use besides that. I promise you, you will never, ever find yourself needing this quirk. Maybe if you're Joe Goldberg and need to get rid of some evidence, this quirk will be your best friend. But no one watching this video is moving like Joe Goldberg in real life. Maybe you can become a trash collector and just start destroying trash, but even then that could be risky. You probably wouldn't be able to control the spread very well, so one decaying banana peel that slips out of the bag can destroy a couple houses. If we're being real, it's a worse version of Overhaul because he can break down and rebuild matter. Shigaraki's quirk is just a derivative of Overhaul. Why would you not want Overhaul instead of Decay? Decay is a purely villainous ability. Only evil people are using this ability for real. It's not for good things. And actually, this is a good place to bring this up. In every facet possible, there are a multitude of never-ending battles. Democracy versus communism, lions versus hyenas, Kevin Durant versus hairbrushes. My never-ending battle is with the comments of this series. More specifically, the secret villains in them. It's like y'all are sleeper agents. Y'all hear the prospect of getting powers in real life and start commenting some wild stuff. Like, what on earth is this guy talking about?
The pros of world domination? Armor? Strat, you've never fought niggas in your suit of armor. Why are we lying? What do you gain out of lying?
And this guy just further proves my point with the Kainu's fruit. You're gonna get served papers for property damage and burn them to death? Like, what's wrong with you? I'm not even coming from a moral standpoint anymore. They're going to find out that you are willing to burn people to death and start using force against you. The government will easily stop you once they realize that your weakness is being submerged in water, which is something they would try to do considering you're generating lava from your body. You're not invincible, bruh. Everyone in the country's government is gonna use everything to catch you. They might even pop out the Men in Black weapons for you. Once they catch you, it's up for you. Game
Stratus
over.
might be Iron Man. Stratus is not fucking Iron Man, dude. He's not Iron Man. Later, Spud.
The light of day again. Okay, Okay, I finally got that off. Before we move on to the next ability, if you're new and enjoying so far, you might as well subscribe. Anyways, it's time to talk about the strongest man in the world, Whitebeard, and his fruit, the Quake fruit. This fruit is one of the keys to Whitebeard being such a force in the One Piece verse. The fruit allows the user to create massive shockwaves and earthquakes, and it's as strong as it sounds. This man Whitebeard was causing tsunamis and entire islands to shake with the usage of his fruit. Sengoku famously said he could destroy the world with the fruit, showing how strong it can really be. Now, it's important to know that Whitebeard is a pirate that doesn't really have to follow the rules. It doesn't matter if he accidentally destroys a couple buildings, because he's not paying for it. He got a multi-billion-dollar bounty already, so some extra fines will not hurt him in the slightest. You, however, are a regular citizen of society and will need to follow the laws and regulations of our civilization.
Yeah,
so if you got this fruit,
you did not kill him. What?
Probably would not be the best idea to start throwing out a bunch of quake punches at people pressing you because of all the collateral damage. Earthquakes are not some little pushover natural disaster. These things are serious. And considering the fact that Whitebeard could potentially destroy the planet, you'll probably break the Richter scale with some of your moves. It is simply overkill. Who the heck are you fighting to justify using this fruit for offense? Kryptonians? It's far too life-threatening for normal civilians. The fruit can be seen as a threat to friend and foe. If you've played games with a character with ridiculous AoE, that's most of your attacks. You can't even do the whole taking over the world thing very well. The Quake fruit is a paramecia, not a Logia, so you can be touched. And it's not like the fruit improves your speed or durability. You can just make...
Thank you for that follow, BB Maria.
Make earthquakes, so the classic letting your chest
Hi, I'm
putting
new.
you on
Hi,
a
welcome in.
There's
How are
probably
you?
one out of every 100 scenarios where this fruit will be a net positive for you. Next up, we got cursed speech, and it's not too complex of a curse.
Cursed speech is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, you give me cursed speech, it's fucking over. The second I get mad and I'm raging, it's over. I'm sorry. I'm the type of person where I say some, when I'm mad, I'll say some crazy shit to you. So if I tell you to go do something, that cursed speech is gonna be speaking behind it, and it's fucking crazy. Whatever you do is not on me. But if you give me cursed speech, I promise, it would not be used for the greater good. If I have cursed speech, it's over. It's GG's. Trust me, we still not doing it, nigga. Yes, you are. If I have cursed speech, you have no choice. Okay?
Technique to explain. With cursed speech,
choice,
the words
buddy.
are enhanced with cursed energy. So listeners are compelled to act based on those words.
Stand still. Shit yourself.
Shut yourself.
Yo.
Yes,
That's
theoretically you could
insane.
even do that. Honestly, this power can be abused like crazy with the right or wrong person. But being completely honest,
I'm the wrong person to give cursed speech to, because I'm gonna abuse the fuck out of that power. Hey, Chris, I will abuse the fuck out of that power if I had it. But that's just me. Other people probably would.
In the series, once you learn the extent of it. I know he's a side character, but Inumaki has barely done anything with this ability. Like, you'll have this one cool moment, but get sidelined. And he gets sidelined because the recoil for this ability is ridiculous. Yeah. Different commands require different skill levels. The higher the skill level of the command, the more backlash.
That's crazy. Subscribe. What's up, KW official? That's kind of crazy. Yo, well, if you say fuck you, then wouldn't that mean they go fuck themselves? Like, so if you be like fuck you, then in their head it's like you're telling them to go fuck themselves, so then they go home and like they like fuck themselves, you know? Yeah.
On the user, aka you, will receive. Why do you think this man Inumaki's always coughing up blood? He can't even use some of the complex commands very much. Shoot, even some of the commands get shrugged off anyways. Granted, it was a special grade curse or a special grade curse user shrugging it off. Theoretically, you can master it, as we've never seen anyone in the series give someone a crazy command with it. But certainly, there's a limit to what you can do with it. I doubt any of us would be as skilled as Sukuna or Gojo with Jujutsu to actually make the most of it. And oh yeah, when I said your words are enhanced with cursed energy, I truly meant all of your words. So no more of those things you like to call sentences. You will be forced to speak in food for the rest of your life or get a device that gives you a voice. It's because with normal words, you can risk inadvertently cursing people with cursed speech. If you try to have a normal conversation, you might get the other person
when I laugh, I'll be like, yo, you're a fucking loser. You're, no, I'll be like, bro, fuck you. You're not funny. So I wouldn't even be able to like say shit like that. I'd just be like, oh my god, you're so funny. Like, you have to shorten everything. You have to be very, I wouldn't want to be so careful with the way I speak to people, because like I'm not gonna lie to you, I say some crazy shit. So like I'd be scared to say certain things because I'm like, damn, what if you actually go do it?
Process because of the lack of control. So having this power in real life means I cough up blood because I either overuse the ability or I do something I'm too weak to do. On top of that, I can only speak in food ingredients or whatever to avoid cursing people. What? Just so I control a couple times? I will pass on that any day of the week.
What if you tell somebody, you get mad at somebody, and you're like, yo, go suck a dick. Yo, then like they'll probably like walk by the nearest stranger, and that's so
I'd
crazy.
rather see someone combust into flames. Wait, no, I didn't mean that.
Suck my dick.
Last
It's
up
like,
is yet
oh, wait,
another
no,
JJK
don't do
ability,
it, you know?
Sukuna's Shrine
That's kinda
technique.
crazy.
In my opinion,
I'ma
it's
test
pretty
that?
self-explanatory why you would never
That's
need
crazy.
something like this in real life. There are 3 main parts of this ability: Cleave, Dismantle, and the Fire Arrow. Dismantle is the default slash that fires out an invisible slash.
Yeah.
You cut up things. It's pretty simple. Cleave is a more unique slash in the
try
fact
it
that it
out
can be
later.
adjusted
You're
to the
not gonna
durability
try it
levels of
out.
the enemy to just finish them off in one hit. It's also used while physically touching the opponent. The Fire Arrow is basically a mini nuke that can destroy city
Damn.
blocks and is made of fire.
I'd use
Again,
that
pretty obvious.
for
These
bad.
abilities sound pretty broken when reading them on paper until you realize that these are sort of Sukuna techniques, if that makes sense. These abilities only work for Sukuna since he's really good at Jujutsu sorcery, but in the hands of anyone else, they're not as effective. Like, if you gave Nobara a Cleave and Dismantle, she's not gonna be the strongest in the verse. This same type of logic would likely apply in real life unless you're a prodigy of some sort. So you, my friend, are not gonna be that good with using this
Evil
technique.
mate,
The
I'm not
slashes
gonna
might be like
evil as
paper
fuck.
cuts
This
or
is
will be
how I'll settle
uncontrollable.
my
I can't
beef.
even
Amen.
fathom the amount of
You
training
gotta-
you need to make this power really
way or
good.
another.
Also, the technique suffers
No,
the same
I
problem
would
a
use
lot
that
of fictional
ability
powers
for
have,
bad.
and it's the fact
Not
that the
good.
power is mainly combat focused. At the basic level, there really aren't many applications of Cleave and Dismantle besides cutting
Damn.
stuff. If you're a chef, that's cool, but how many of us are really culinary experts? Even if we give you the benefit of having a domain
You could
expansion,
use it
what
like
will
the
you ever
fucking
use it for?
anime
The only
does.
people who want this power are either the Sukuna fans or the super agents, super villains I referred to earlier. So that's another set of
Okay.
powers that I think are kind of to just straight up bad in real life. If y'all want another part
I
to this
mean-
series, just tell me in the comments, because I don't want to overrun the channel with this type of video. With that being said, have
I
a great
feel like
day.
there's a
Peace
lot
out.
of different ones I would use for, like, maybe not for good, but I would fucking use them. I don't think they're completely useless. Would they like be very extremely dangerous to like have? Yeah, but would I still fucking use it? Absolutely.